Keeping in mind that these are just my personal opinions, not the objective truth that certain movies are better than others, here are my top 10 movies from 2017. Starting with the honorable mentions, which are The Shape of Water, Spider-Man Homecoming, The Disaster Artist, Wonder Woman, The Phantom Thread, and Blade Runner 2049. Number 10, Thor Ragnarok. I'm a huge fan of Taika Waititi, and Hunt for the Wilderpeople was my favorite film from 2016, so I was excited when I heard he was making a lighthearted Marvel film. I strongly disliked the first two Thor movies, but really enjoyed this one, even if it did mean that they had to almost completely change Thor's personality from the previous films. It was a truly weird, funny, and action-packed movie that was unlike any other Marvel film before it, and was their first full-out comedy, including a mostly improvised script, an 80s-inspired trash planet, and the Goldblumiest version of Jeff Goldblum that we've ever seen on screen. I only had one minor complaint, which was the underuse of Hela, but Cate Blanchett was so commanding in the role that she still manages to make the character captivating. Waititi proved that he can handle a big-budget Hollywood movie, while still maintaining his unique and playful brand of comedy. Number 9, 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. A dark premise, a mother puts up billboards asking why the police haven't done more in the investigation of her daughter's rape and murder, provides the basis for a tragicomic exploration of morality in a small town. The tone of this movie is all over the place, and it was great. And like the tone of the film, the actions of the characters are constantly ping-ponging between good, bad, and in between. I loved writer-director Martin McDonagh's In Bruges, and I admire this film equally. As many people have noted, you can tell McDonagh was originally a playwright, and that's a good thing. This film leaves the audience unsure of what's going to come next. Nothing is for certain, except for the non-stop barrage of jokes and the powerhouse performance by Frances McDormand. Number 8, The Big Sick. Rom-coms aren't usually my kind of movie, but this one was so original, heartfelt, and most of all hilarious, that I really enjoyed it. Kumail has always been great in his comedy roles, but showed that he can be just as solid at drama as well. The acting all around was very good, and the Apatow-approved script did an amazing job at the hard task of balancing plot and comedy. Number 7, Baby Driver. I love Edgar Wright, and I'm glad that he finally seems to be getting the widespread recognition that he deserves. It's his first film to gross over $100 million in the US. The film's unique concept of actions and cuts being timed perfectly to the soundtrack is an original idea that is executed perfectly. In the hands of a lesser filmmaker, the music synchronization could have felt like a gimmick, but it plays as completely natural and makes the action scenes impossibly enthralling from the very beginning of the film. It's also probably helpful that the film has a killer soundtrack. Number 6, The Florida Project. The pastel colors and dreamlike cinematography contrast wonderfully with the heavy nature of this film's subject matter. With no clear narrative, the characters are captivating and are the heart of this film about poverty and childhood. Willem Dafoe and the rest of the cast are amazing, especially when considering that no one but Dafoe had ever acted in anything before. Number 5, Lady Bird. As evidenced by it holding the title of the best rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes ever for several weeks, everyone will enjoy this film. You don't need to be a woman, teenager, Californian, or someone who went to Catholic school to relate to this movie. Writer-director Greta Gerwig's semi-autobiographical film is crammed full of genuine moments relating to growing up, family, and friends within its only 90-minute runtime. Number 4, Logan. Logan is the best Marvel movie ever, bar none, because it's not really a superhero movie. I would argue that it's actually more of a movie about getting old and losing the ones that you love than a movie about superheroes. It's a film about a family who also just happened to have superpowers. It was touching, had great action, and was a great character study of Old Man Logan. The acting was amazing as well, from everyone, but especially the young Daphne Kane as X-23, who is out of this world talented. This movie is so high on my list because, despite not being as highbrow as some of the other films, I thought that it was perfectly constructed in almost every aspect. Number 3, Call Me By Your Name. I've never watched a film more pleasurable than Call Me By Your Name. It was as leisurely and hot as the Italian summer days that it depicts in the film. Luca Guadagnino's stylized direction is entrancing, as are the performances by Hammer and Chalamet. Number 2, Dunkirk. Not since 1981's Das Boot has a movie captured the suspense of war in such a chilling yet captivating manner. Dunkirk does everything perfectly. It was an interesting story, amazing cinematography, great acting, outstanding sound. What more could anyone want from a film? Nolan continues his reputation as one of, if not the best technical filmmakers out there. This movie is pure cinema, and is one of the most visceral movie-going experiences of the year. Number 1, Get Out. Get Out was an amazing directorial debut from Jordan Peele. I almost feel sorry for him, because I think that this film is a masterpiece, and will be extremely difficult for him to top in the future. It has great acting, an outstanding original screenplay, and a nice sprinkling of Peele's renowned humor. Frankly, it's the most clever film of the year, and practically begs for repeated viewings. The extra layer to the film of the poignant social commentary, on top of the already fantastic thriller and horror movie, solidified this as my favorite film of the year. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want more videos like this. Thanks to Eric Shaw for copy editing. See you next time.